Hey everybody, it's Alec here and welcome to another YouTube video. In this video, we're going to talk about why you should avoid doing free events. There is a place to do free events. Certain events should be free in my opinion, but other events should not be free. If you are doing a business-related event, it should cost money for a variety of reasons that we're going to get into. This is Future Alec. I just got done editing this video and I realize it's pretty long. All I'm gonna say is feel free to watch this video at either 1.2x speed or 1.5x speed so that you can consume the content faster without losing anything in the process. All right, let's get into it. If you're watching this video, you're likely an entrepreneur that's interested or is already hosting in-person networking events, workshops, masterminds, types of experiences that carry real value, whether it's growing their business, mindset, health, whatever it might be. I've been doing events for a while. I've done free and paid events. Now I only do paid events. I only help people do paid events because it's definitely the way to go. So I'm screen sharing here and we're just going to talk about, hey, if you want to host events and experiences that grow your business, are rewarding, they build your personal brand in a sustainable way, then 100% you want to charge for events. The only reason you wouldn't charge for events is because you don't feel confident that you could sell tickets. If you could charge and you're providing value, why wouldn't you want to receive the money? There's probably an area that you're lacking confidence in. Before we get into the reasons why doing free events is not the way to go, I'm going to talk about ways to create more comfort in charging for tickets and ways that you can sell a lot more tickets, okay? But first of all, let's hop over into the screen share and talk about why you should avoid doing free events, all right? We're here in this pretty little Notion document, and we're going to go through the first thing, which is events that make sense to be free. Some events, in my opinion, should be free. Not business-related events, but like birthday parties. If I'm turning a year older, I'm inviting people over to celebrate. Most of you here celebrate birthdays. Birthday parties should be free. Weddings. Somebody's getting married. I don't think I've ever been charged to go to a wedding. I heard a story in the news about somebody like charging like $300 to the attendees to attend a wedding on their guest list because it was so expensive, but that's so rare that it made a headline. We're not used to paying for these kinds of events. Open houses, somebody puts their event on the market. I haven't ever paid to go to an open house. Sometimes I'll go to really nice houses in Corona Del Mar that have an open house just so I can check out a new house that's cool and it's fun, but I'm never being charged for that. Or like a brick and mortar grand opening. If you open up a new supplement shop or a clinic or a furniture store, a lot of grand openings don't really charge for tickets. Could they charge? Yeah, potentially, but they're just more, hey, we just opened up, let's do a public facing event and invite a bunch of people. These are just a few examples of events that make sense to be free, but not business networking events, workshops, or masterminds. Here's the key difference between the business-related events and the other examples I spoke about, the parties, the weddings, the open houses. By doing an event, you want to provide value. That is one of the key reasons why you should be doing an event in the first place. And that value could be a variety of different ways. There's so many ways to provide value. I think the two main ways to provide value in a networking event or a workshop or a mastermind, they're all similar to each other in their own way. You're giving people the opportunity to meet other people who are like-minded, who they can connect with, which is huge, extremely valuable. Because for one, like, I'm in Orange County, there's 3 million people here. If I can go to an experience that has my type of people in it and can filter out the 99% of people who aren't, that's valuable to me. And it is for the people that want to attend your events as well. You're creating that experience. And that's very valuable. Second, at these events, you might be providing some kind of value when it comes to growing their business, improving their health, maybe their relationships. It just depends on the value that you offer as a coach, consultant, experience creator, agency, whoever you might be. But you're providing value through this event. It could be a combination of, for example, at my events, I create the value by bringing a bunch of people together, and I also deliver some kind of presentation that's interesting and value driven. So I'm creating real tangible value here that, and everybody else that's putting on events is trying to do the same exact thing. It's creating real business value. And because it's creating real business value, or even if it's not directly business related, you're helping people improve their life, you deserve to get paid for that. And let me just tell you, other people are willing to pay for that as well. So you might be thinking, oh yeah, I still want to make my event free, maybe because you lack the confidence in order to charge. And okay, if I make it free, why does it really matter? I'll tell you the key disadvantages of making your networking events, workshops, masterminds free. This might not be the entire list, but I came up with about 6. Disadvantage number 1, you'll likely lose a lot of money on the event, which isn't sustainable long term. Most of you know that events generally cost a decent amount of money because you have money for the venue, which is probably going to cost several hundreds of dollars. Sometimes you'll be able to get the venue for free, but then how great of a venue is that really? Sometimes you can luck out, but still, like, you're paying for the venue. You're probably going to have some food there. If you do a good job with the food, you're probably going to spend $200-300 in food at least. I don't think you need to generally spend more than that, but that's a decent amount to spend. Also, on top of that, you're gonna wanna hire an assistant. Like, I like to pay people, no matter how close of a friend they are to me. You're getting paid if you're devoting your time to help me with my event. That's a fair exchange. Also, having a photo and video person. This could be $200-300 generally. If you were to hire somebody on Snapper.com or just find somebody in your network. All of these things generally cost money. And for the types of events that I do and a lot of my clients do, generally we're spending about $1,000 to $1,500 on an event out the door when it comes to those main things. So if you're not charging for tickets, you're likely just going to lose a lot of money. Plus, you have money in advertising. For myself and my clients, we grow our events through a specific advertising strategy. And a lot of you know what that is. But basically, you're spending money just not on the event themselves, but also the advertising to get people there. So if you're not charging, you're not getting any of that money back. You could say, oh, I'm going to get a few new clients from it. And that's possible, but the problem with that is that by doing a free event, you're actually also not going to attract the right kind of people to your event in the first place, and people that aren't going to take it as seriously, which comes to a future point. So basically, if you're going to be doing events, you want to do them regularly. You want the model to be sustainable. The more events you do in a certain time frame, whether it's 6 months, a year, 2 years, the more you get yourself out there, and that personal brand effect can compound. Disadvantage number 2, you won't know how many people are actually going to show up. Generally, 30% of people that RSVP to a free event are going to actually show up. 80% of people that RSVP to a paid event are going to show up. You have 100 RSVPs on Eventbrite and your event is free. Probably only about 30 people are going to actually show up. It could even be less than that. It could be 10 or 20. You never really know, but because people who don't pay attention, a lot of people just aren't going to show up. Meanwhile, if you have a paid event and you sell 100 tickets, you'll probably get about 80 people to show up. If they paid, they're more likely to show up, right? They put their credit card in. That's like intent. That would make sense why a lot more people who actually paid are going to show up. And let's say you have a venue space, and that venue space can hold 50 people. If you get 50 RSVPs that are free, you're technically sold out, but like only 17 are going to show up maybe, or maybe 20 or 15. So then it's, now do I have 150 tickets for sale because I know only a third are going to show up. So it's logistically, then it's like also beyond that, it's how much food am I going to buy? You could use that rule of 30% of people are going to show up, but it's annoying. I rather know for sure so I can plan the event better. But there's so many other, this is a disadvantage, but it's not as big as disadvantage number one. So let's move on. It's going to be a less intentional crowd. So this is disadvantage number 3. It's going to be a less intentional crowd of people because they didn't pay to be there in the first place. People that don't pay generally don't pay as much attention. In my ads, in my clients' ads, the reason the events themselves bring in really cool people is not just because they're aligned with the general message of these communities that we're promoting, but also because they paid to be there in the first place. Networking events where people actually paid to be there, think about it this way. They're gonna make more of an effort to talk to people. They're gonna be better conversationalists because they committed to being there. They committed to not just being there, but paying money to be there. So if they spent $30, $40, $50, let's say, to attend an event, they're gonna wanna get value out of that experience. They're gonna try to make the most of it by being engaging, by being more talkative, by trying to help and serve other people. If there's a networking event where there's 50 people there, it's free, versus a networking event where there's 50 people and they all paid to be there, even if it's at least $20, it's going to be a much better event. That paid event is going to be a much better event because everybody put in their credit card or their debit card, whatever. They paid money to be there, so they're going to naturally be more inclined. And they're taking themselves more seriously because they paid. What I'll say on top of that is because they're more intentional about being there, they have more of a goal in mind. It could be learning something, meeting a certain kind of person. And as a host of the event, you're probably going to make an offer to them on stage. If you're trying to get future clients, which a lot of people are, you're probably going to pitch something on stage, and you're just going to get a better response from people that have all paid to be there because they paid. They want help. They're more likely to want help because they're there in the first place to meet people, to get new connections. So what does that mean? They're likely trying to grow their business. As a coach, consultant, agency owner, whatever you help people with, you're going to be pitching to people that are more in that mindset of wanting to grow. Disadvantage number 4, it's going to discourage certain networkers from coming. This is very interesting. Let me just say that I've been to a lot of networking events, a lot of workshops, a lot of masterminds. They've all been paid. And you can probably understand they provide a lot of value. If somebody invites me to their event and their event is free and it's like a business event, I'm likely not going to attend. Because free networking events just suck. They're not great for the reasons that I already spoke about. One, we'll talk about the organizer. So the organizer wasn't confident enough to charge. Do I want to go to somebody's event who's not confident enough in the value of their event to even charge in the first place? Probably not. Second of all, when you get a bunch of people in the room who haven't paid, they're probably not the types of people that I want to talk to in the first place. Because pricing creates a barrier. Generally, the higher the price, the cooler the people. Not always, I don't want to make generalizations, but the more people are investing themselves, the more they're going to want to serve other people, build connections, learn, they're motivated, they're already doing something with their life. So if an event is free, it could just be a big waste of my time. If I get a free ticket to a paid event, that's different. If I know the majority of the people have paid, then sure, if I get a free ticket, thank you very much. But if nobody is paid to be there, I'm not gonna say it's a complete waste of time because you never know, but it should cost money. And if it doesn't, as an organizer myself and somebody that's worked with a lot of people and an avid networker, people that are avid networkers, they go to masterminds, networking events, they're used to paying. So I'm not the only one that would think that's a red flag if your event's free. Okay, disadvantage number 5, it's potentially more risky from a security standpoint. Something you might not have thought about. So if the event is free and you're saying there's food at the event, you could get a bunch of people that are just coming purely for the food. Talking about people that aren't very intentional around the types of people that you want to surround yourself and build your community off of. But also, who are people that would want food in a free event? People that are homeless, for example. I've heard of people that have done free events, have just gotten homeless people to show up because they just wanted the free food. Also, because people haven't paid and anybody can just show up, you're more likely to attract people that are creepy because they're not totally in line. If you have a business networking event and people paid to be at that business networking event, it's because they genuinely want to network and they want to get that ROI back. If they just show up because it's free, they might just be there to hit on the girls and make women feel uncomfortable. I know that's a niche situation, but several times it has happened. Just something to keep in mind. You just don't know who the heck is gonna show up. And like, at least people paid, they're probably in the right headspace. But if you make an event free, you could get a bunch of strange people. It's very possible. Disadvantage number 6 is it diminishes the value of your brand. If you put on free business events, it means you don't really believe in the value of your events. For people that go to a lot of events, when they're seeing that it's free, that's a red flag, and they think, it's a free event. Again, I don't want to make a generalization here, but people respect free events less than they do paid events in the context of networking events, masterminds, workshops. When I'm building an events community, I want to be known for hosting paid experiences where the right people show up, they want to be there, and everybody has a great time because they're all similar minded and they all invested to be there. And that's a great way to make sure that they have a positive experience. If you're known for hosting free events, because of all the disadvantages with the free events, especially with the people that you're attracting with the free event, your events just aren't going to be as good. And you're just going to get a reputation, I believe, that's just not as strong, because the types of people that are showing up are not going to be as high quality, and they're not going to want to make the most of the experience. So for the people that did show up, even though it was free, and those people are intentional, a lot of them aren't, so they're less likely to find value in the experience. And that's going to mean that they're not going to want to tell their friends about your event and not want to come back to yours. So this really runs deep. Like, there are so many disadvantages to having free events. Just charge. And this is the question to ask yourself. If someone isn't willing to pay at least $15 to $25 to attend my event, is that someone that I even want to meet or be friends with in the first place? Is somebody that you want to work with your ideal client, can they not afford $15 to $25 to attend an event? Somebody like a quality business connection. Someone that can help you, you can help them. Even if they're not a client, they're a referral partner. They turn into a great connection, a friend, whatever it might be. Is that somebody that can't afford $15 to $25 at least to attend an event? And the answer is probably not. Someone that isn't willing to pay either is too broke or doesn't see the value in what you're doing enough to pay. I think anybody can come up with at least $15 to $25 at the bare minimum to attend an event. So I think it's really a question of value, and people that aren't willing to pay are not seeing the value in what you're doing. If they don't see the value in what you're doing, they shouldn't attend your event in the first place. How you can create more comfort in charging for tickets. First of all, you can create demand for your community from running ads. This is a key strategy in what I do and what my clients do. If you want to know exactly what these advertising strategies are, click the link in my bio. There's a video training called How I Turn Every $1 into 10 with Local Client Getting Events. That breaks down the advertising process from A to Z. By the time that you're watching this video, there might be other videos on that subject as well. Or if for whatever reason, you're not in a position to invest in ads, you could also do this in addition to running ads. Organically build a strong network of people that match the type of people that you'd want at your events. So instead of building an email list from ads, network at your local co-working space. Go to other networking events and get people to sign up for your events list. You could reach out to people on LinkedIn, reach out to people on Instagram. The fastest way to grow your list is going to be to run ads. But also, if you really hustle, you could get several hundred people at some point to be on your email list organically. It could just take way longer. So it depends on if you want to grow something sooner than later in a matter of 30 to 45 days and have an audience where you can sell 30 to 50 tickets right from the beginning, run ads. But if you don't have the capital to invest in doing that, then you can always just build your list organically. I'd rather build that list organically to the point where I'm confident in charging because there are people on that list, as opposed to just doing an event right now and making it free. Either run ads or organically build a list, or do both. Both are really powerful. I would recommend doing both, but you can easily get by doing one or the other. It's just organically building a list is going to take a little bit more time, probably a lot more time. I know people that have built their lists organically over time, but I'm in the game of ads. Ads have been tremendous for me. They've been tremendous for my clients. So anyway, but hopefully this answers a lot of questions. If you were wondering, should I do a free event? Should I do a paid event? I tried to break this down into as much detail as I can and explain the knowledge and the nuance. So hopefully you gain value from it. I do want to give a couple call to actions at the end of this video. One is, if you have any questions about any of this, feel free to drop a comment down below. Also, if you haven't been following me on Instagram, I post a lot of content that you won't see on this YouTube channel at Alec Mountain on Instagram. And then also, if you want to take your events to the next level, whether you're already established doing events in your area or you want to grow a community from scratch, check out my video, how I turn every $1 into 10 with local client getting events. It's free to watch. It's in the description below. Other than that, and also, hey, if you like these videos, subscribe so that you can get future content. All right, that's it for me. I really appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.